Hey guys, how are you doing? I hope you're doing all right. So basically today I would start a new chapter which is Maggie Cuts Her Hair. So it's a summary, okay? So it's not a full, the chapter, it's just a summary. So it's class 7 English Gulmohar. Just wait a second. Yeah, so it's class 7 English Gulmohar and Maggie Cuts Her Hair. So, um, you know, why say first? When you start a chapter or when you start the story, what do you see the first? Of course you see the wait a second. This this brush is like hell. So you start the introduction, right? Oh, I'm so sorry. You start the name. See the name first. I told you, I said in my previous videos also. When you start, you just see the name. So, what's the name of the chapter? So, the name of the chapter is Maggie Cuts Her Hair. So, that's the name of the chapter, and from this name only you can get a idea that this there is a girl or a boy or a character which is named as Maggie, and from gender, the gender, Maggie is a girl. From where do you get from this? Her means she, right? So she is a girl, so she cuts her hair. So what's the deal? She cuts her hair. हम सब बाल काटते हैं, right? We everyone cuts hair. So what's the deal with it? What is the what can I say? What's the big deal, right? So I also don't find any big deal or big mess to talk about, but there is a mess to talk about. There is a very brief idea to talk about. So that's the thing we are gonna do. We're gonna study or we're gonna talk about in this in this chapter. So it's just an introductory video, so let's get in. So we are gonna do is first we are gonna talk about characters present in the whole chapter. So what are the characters present? Then about the author, who is the author? Then summary. So yeah, I just wait a second. I just forgot to tell you that first you see the name, right? The second, what do you see? Who has written it? So who has written it? You also see. So about the author, who is the author? You need to know that. Okay, so it's basically very important for you to know. So then, wait a second. Then it's just some technical issue. So yeah, I have fixed it. Characters. So before we did that, first we need to know is character. So what's the characters present in this chapter? Yes. So yeah, this. So we are gonna study or we are gonna talk about the characters present. Who are the characters present? There are numerous of characters present in this whole chapter, or you could say whole, you know, whole story. So let's get started. So first is Maggie. So the most important, or you could say the most, um, you know, the most, what did I say? The important character is Maggie. She is the not the narrator, but she is the important character. Then comes Tom, which is Maggie's brother. Brother. Then comes Mr. Tulliver and Mrs. Tulliver. So Maggie and what are relation of it is Maggie and Tom. They are what? They are wait a second. They are brothers. No, you could say they are siblings. They are brothers and sisters. Okay. Then Mr. and Mrs. Tulivio, what are they? They are mother and father of Maggie and Tom. So Mr. Tulivio is the father of Maggie and Tom, and Mrs. Tulivio is the mother of Maggie and Tom. It's quite confusing. But you need to remember, it's very, very easy, Mr. So they are both husband and wife, okay? And they are also parents of Maggie and Tom. Then comes next. Wait a second. I just yeah. Martha. Then comes Martha and Kezia. So Martha doesn't have a very you know important character, but we just used it. She is present in that whole story, so we just used her name. Then comes Kezia. Kezia is who? Kezia is the maid of Maggie, Tom, Mr. and Mrs. Tulivia. She works as a maid in the Kezia, not the maid of honor, just a maid. The काम करने वाली बाई, okay? So then comes our Mr. and Mrs. Gleek. So they have an important influence on Maggie. Then comes Mr. and Mrs. Dean. Then comes Mr. and Mrs. Pullett. So basically, I just want to say that this three names I have said, Mr. and Mrs. Glee, Mr. and Mrs. Dean. So they are aunt and uncle of Maggie, Tom, Maggie. Sorry. They are just uncles and aunts of Maggie and Tom, and they are the relatives of Mr. and Mrs. Delivier. So, and Martha is the cousin of what can I say, Maggie and Tom. So this is the whole I'm so sorry. This is the whole family of um Talivier. Okay, this is I'm so sorry. These are the characters. These are present in the whole story. So the family of Talivier is this: Maggie, Tom, Mr. Talivier, and Mrs. Talivier. Got it? Moving on. Let's go further and just know about the author. So who's the author? The author is George Eliot. So that's a very interesting thing that George Eliot actually George Eliot, her pen name. So pen name, what's the meaning of pen name? Wait, let me break it down for you. Mary and Evans is the real name of George Eliot. Okay, so it's a pen name. So real name is Marian Evans. Just remember it. Mary Ann Evans is the real name of George Eliot, and only in her profession she uses George Eliot as her name. एक नाम उन्होंने एक दूसरा चेहरा बना लिया है खुद के लिए, and its name is George Eliot. These are not two type of people, but they are the same people. Just you know, they are the same people. Okay, so she is the one of the leading English novelists in the 19th century. Then wait a second. Yeah, so the Mill on the Floss, then Silas Marner. These are the few famous novels. So do you know that this? I forgot to tell you that this Maggie Cuts Her Hair. It's the first chapter. Is the first chapter of the Mill on the Floss. So the novel is Mill on the Floss, and it's one of the chapter, though you can see the first chapter of the Mill on the Floss. So that is it for George Eliot. So Silas Marner is also one of the you could say very famous novels. Then her novels, this also you can remember that they have realistic themes and very strong characters. So that was it. Then just wait a second. So the story is from a novel, The Mill on the Floss. The Mr. Tullivish, he is a miller, and the family lives in the mill. So I would break it down for you. Mrs. Tulliver, he's a miller, okay, and his whole family, which concludes Maggie, Tom, Mr. and Mrs. Talivier, they live at the beside in the mill only, which is beside the river flows. Do you know what is a mill? Mill is a where, you know, what can I say? Where corn mill are there, right? Paper mills are there. So when mill is there, so mill means a flour is, made. So this is only mill. So the miller means a person who is the owner of a mill, or he just works in that mill, in a mill. Okay. So miller means that in your in our word meaning part there is the word name miller. So you could just see that. Okay. So he has two children, which is Tom and Maggie. I said so. Maggie's hair is very long, long. Not very very long, but long. And everyone, including the uncle, their uncles and aunts, they always tell or scold them, or they are very annoyed of her hair. Her hair is very very untidy, and so the story here begins. So the children's uncles and aunts have arrived. I'm so sorry, it's not dried, okay? Wait a second, it's so untidy. So it's not dried, it's arrived. It's just, some writing issues. So arrived in a dinner at the mill. So that's it. Oh, sorry, sorry. So that's it. Thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to like the video, share the video, and subscribe the video. Wait a second. So thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to the video. Also, click the bell icon so that you can get all my notification whenever I get online. So, thanks for watching. Stay home, stay safe, and stay hygiene.